Okay, good morning, everyone. So, this video was intended para sa mga hindi natin natapos. So, pasensya na po dahil natagalan. Marami din kasi akong sa first year ko marami ding hindi natapos. So, inisa-isa ko muna. So, walang pahinga, no? So, sabi nyo dito, nag-end yung discussion nyo dito based sa 4 standard whirl pattern. So, we have here, i-discuss natin yung 4 na whirl pattern which is the standard. Excuse me for a moment. So, we are going to discuss the 4 standard whirl patterns. So, we have number 1. Okay, excuse me. We have number 1, the plain whirl, which is, pag sa natin, sa major classification, ang initial na po na pag isusulat natin, we have the W. At least one circuiting ridge is touched or crossed by the imaginary line traversing between 2 deltas. So, pag sinabi po nating plain whirl, based on the photo that we have here, meron siyang circular or spiral pattern. Tandaan po natin na pag plain whirl po, meron siyang circular. Okay, pabilog po or yung tinatawag natin na spiral pattern. So, na-discuss naman natin ito nung nakaraan natin sa prelim. So, yan. And sinabi dyan, circuiting ridge is touch or cross. Yung sinasabi dyan ang circuiting, ito po yung tinutukoy. Eto. Okay, makikita niyo po sa screen yung ginuhitan ko ng itim. Yan po ang tinatawag nating imaginary line which is traversing between 2 deltas. So, tatawid siya sa in-between ng dalawang deltas. Yan po ang sinasabi pag sinabi nating plain whirl. So, tatandaan lang, pinagkaiba lang kasi nila ni central pocket loop whirl which is we have the initial of C. No circuiting, we have number 2 here. No circuiting ridge within the pattern area is touched or crossed by an imaginary line drawn between 2 deltas. So, ito hindi siya pumasok sa loob. Yung sinasabi nating ito. And at the same time, kung kanina si plain whirl, circular or spiral pattern, masasabi po natin sa central pocket loop whirl po ay it is a pattern of oval. Okay, yung tatandaan natin. If we are going to differentiate the pattern na nakikita natin dito, yes, ito. So, ito, oval, yan. And at the same time, itong nakikita natin dito is ito yung circular po. And based on the imaginary line, which is itong nakikita ninyo, ang pag sinabi nating central pocket loop whirl po, hindi po siya pumapasok doon sa sinabi nating pattern area. Ang pinagkaiba niya, ito pumasok sa pattern area, which is tatawid siya in between. Ito po, hindi po tatawid. Yan ang tatandaan natin. Then at the same time, remember also the definition given based on this, kasi lalabas po ito. Kasi kung ano lang na-discuss, based kay Ma'am Abing and at the same time kay Sir Jury, yun lang din ay ipapalabas ko sa exam. So, gagawa ako ng bagong exam na talagang na-discuss lang po. So, we have next the double loop whirl, which we have the number 3. Ito po yung number 3 natin, which is merong initial na D. To separate loop formation. So, diba sinabi natin, yung keyword nyo nga pag sinabi natin double loop is yung letter S. Yan. Oy, mali pala. Dapat red. Yung letter S na pattern na meron tayo. To separate and distinct shoulders. So, sinasabi po natin shoulder, ito po. Yan. Mayroong pinagkaiba sila. To separate deltas, 2 deltas or more deltas. So, dito makikita natin, we have here, ito, yung mga possible natin na magiging pagkukunang ng delta, we have also here. So, dito, ang possible natin dito is 2. So, pwede po siyang 2 or more. Yung tatandaan natin. Ang tatandaan pag sinabing double loop is meron siyang 2 loops. Yan lang patanda, which is na merong pattern na S shape. Yan, lalagay natin. S shape na twisted. Lagay natin additional dito. Twisted pattern. Next, we have number 4. Number 4 natin, we have the accidental. So, pag sinabi natin accidental, based on the definition that we have on our discussion last prelim, a combination of 2 different patterns with the exception of plain arch. 2 deltas or more. So, ano po ibig sabihin nating accidental? Combination siya ng dalawang different finger patterns. Yan lang po ang tatandaan natin. 2 different pattern, a combination. Exemption daw doon is we have the plain arch. So, it can be, ano ba yung magiging example natin? A fingerprint that contain a characteristic of a combination, which is halimbawa, loop and whirl, nag-combine po sila. Yan, nagsama. So, tatandaan natin pag sinabi nating accidental, pwede ito yung pinaghalo, combination, or pwede din po mga unusual pattern. Okay? Unusual pattern. So, I hope you understand. Next, we have the arch. Ito na yung ilang percent nga yung arch natin. Tatandaan po natin ha, we have only 5%. So, ito yung sinasabi ko na parang hindi common na fingerprint pattern. So, we have, pag sinabi nating arch, based on the definition given, in arch pattern, the ridges run from one side to the other of the pattern, making no backward turn. So, kumbaga si arch pala walang binabalikan. Yan ang tatandaan natin. Bakit? Nakikita natin dito sa example, di ba? Based on the plain arch and number 2 tented, kumbaga, nagsimula dito sa kabilang mundo, okay, tumagos hanggang sa kabila. Kumbaga, ito yung sinasabi na yung walang binalikan. So, di ba, we have the loop whirl, yung may paikot-ikot, babalik pa dito. So, dito, direct lang. Tatawid lang siya papunta sa kabilang banda. So, dito, based on the additional definition, there is ordinarily no delta. Tatandaan natin yan, class ha. Wala pong delta si arch. But where there is the appearance of delta, no recurving ridge must intervene between the core and delta. So, we have number 1 example, plain arch. Plain arch is the, kumbaga matatawag natin, the simplest. Okay? The simplest type of arch. So, dito makikita natin na yung ridge enters from one side. Yan, yung naguhitan ko kanina. Then, meron siyang slightly in the middle na kumbaga may mabundok konti, the continue toward the other side, meron siyang tinatawag natin na na back. Okay, sandali. Yung tinatawag natin na, eto, parang meron siyang small, ano yung matatawag natin na small? Small rise. Kumbaga mabundok lang ng konti. Alam niyo yung laro na hill climb? Yung parang nasa isa level ka pa lang. Yun, we can give that as an example. Then, anong pinagkaiba niya kay tented? Tented is what? Is a type of pattern having either an angle upthrust. Okay, pag sinabi natin upthrust, papunta sa itaas, an incomplete loop whirl. Kumbaga, pwede po siyang ma-define na incomplete loop whirl. Kumbaga, nag-action na siya pa-loop, pero hindi natuloy. So, additionally, pag sinabi po nating tented arch, meron siyang, kung kanina small rise yung sinabi natin sa plain arch, dito po is meron siyang, eto yung makikita natin na if we are going, eto, yan, medyo yung hill climb niya, yung pataas, is medyo meron ng, medyo mabundok na siya. Kumbaga, may nagsabi nga sa akin na student, kung baga si plain arch, siya yung flat. Okay, pag sinabi natin flat, is sa dede yung tinutukoy kasi nila. Ito namang si tented arch, ito yung medium size daw kasi merong naumbok. So, yung tatandaan natin if you are going to have a joke on this kind of topic. So, yan, based on the drawing that we have here, medyo siyang upthrust, which is ito yung tinatawag na gentle rise. Okay, meron ng pag-akyat ng pattern na meron. So, pwede natin pag sinabing gentle, sharper siya kaysa kay plain arch. So next, I hope you understand. Next, we have the kinds of tented arch. So meron po tayong iba't ibang uri ng tented arch. Tatlo ang tatandaan natin ha. We have the angle type or short vertical ridge forming an angle of 90 degrees or less. So if you're going to make a drawing on that, 90 degrees, if you're going to assume, parang na siyang ganito. Okay. Unti-unti, yan. Okay. Merong tumataas. If we are going to assume. Then, if, pag makukonsider natin, eto, yan. Kaya siya tinawag na angle type is, pwede tayong makapagguhit ng something, meron siyang pointed na part, pero naka 90 degrees. Okay? Next, pag sinabi naman nating upthrust, ano ba yung upthrust? A horizontal ridge. A horizontal ridge that makes a sufficient rise at the center. So, if you're going to make a drawing on this, if you're going to assume the horizontal, di ba horizontal pag ganyan? Okay, if we're going to assume lang medyo hindi tayo magaling sa drawing. Okay. Yan. So, yung sinasabi dito na horizontal ridge or sufficient rise, ito yung masasabi natin merong nagkaroon ng ito. Ito yung sinasabi na yung part na ito is merong sufficient rise na sinasabi. So, parang if you're going to differentiate, kasi hindi naman klaro sa drawing ko, kumbaga dito sa upthrust, medyo pointed siya if you're going to differentiate kay angle type. Kasi naka 90 degrees eh. Okay, napindot. Okay, naka 90 degrees. Kumbaga, simplihan lang natin, nakaganito lang. Si upthrust. Kumbaga dito, merong kumbagang ganyan. Yan, may naumbok sa ating upthrust that we can able to imagine na merong certain rise na sa center na meron po sa upthrust. Yan lang po if you are going to differentiate. Next, we have the incomplete loop type. Ito if you're going to imagine the incomplete kaninga loop similar to a loop with missing one or two elements. So, if we're going to give an example based on a drawing, ay nako, napipindot pa talaga. Pag sinabi po nating loop, we have here, assume natin yan. Mali na naman ang drawing. Ba't maginan yan? Okay, direct natin. Ito. Okay, hanggang sa tataas po yan siya. Hanggang sa merong, parang hindi ko talaga maano. Wait natin Pag sinabi kasi natin, magiging basis natin yung ganito para mas, yan. Then, gagawa tayo ng certain, yan. Sorry class, hindi po talaga tayo magaling mag-drawing. Then, if you're going to imagine, meron yung red na ano ko dyan. Ito yung upward or yung rise natin. So, dito, lalagyan ko ng green. Meron siya yung kadugtong na meron ng nagganito. Okay? Imagine na lang natin yan, loop yan guys Kumbaga, a half loop. Okay? Which is hindi na continue. Kasi if you're going to continue this, parang magaganito yan diba? So, pero, hindi po yan ang magiging itsura. So, tatanggalin lang natin yung last natin na draw, which is ito. Then, parang ito yung magiging sinasabi na mga incomplete loop natin. Ito. Kumbaga, meron na siyang direction na magfo-form po siya ng loop. Pero, hindi po siya totally perfect. Kaya siya tinawag na incomplete. So, sana naman po naintindihan natin. So, skip natin itong steps in classifying. Proceed tayo sa basic rule in taking fingerprint. So, rulings po ito na nagawa natin, yung na-actual natin noong prelim, which is, susundin lang natin ito. Pag kukuha po tayo ng fingerprint, number 1, subject should be instructed to stand straight but relax facing the slab. So, yung pagkuha natin, may nasabihan ako na dapat wag tigasan yung kamay. So, dapat relax lang. So, yung tinutukoy na slab dito is yung mga equipments or yung napa-assignment ko sa inyo na pinadrawing ko, which is the slab. Haharapin mo yan, which is relax lang dapat ang kamay. Number 2, the subject hand should be completely dry. That is why nagdala ako ng alcohol dahil doon sa mga water bender ng mga kamay ninyo. Next, In case of split web thumb, it should be rolled together and be classified based on the bigger one if the same size. Okay. Ito yung pag sinabi nating web thumb, kumbaga, it should be rolled together and be classified based on the get the bigger one if the same size, get the inner one. So, magkadikit. Next, we have number 4, thumb fingers are rolled towards the body while other fingers are rolled away from the body. So, ito yung ruling talaga na susundin. Pag yung thumb daw po, yung niro-roll natin in line with rolling the fingerprint, dapat yung thumb is towards the body. So, papunta po sa body. So, you are going to imagine na you are going to roll papunta sa stomach yung direction. Pero the rest, the index, the middle, the ring, and the little finger is away. Palabas po. So, palabas na po yung pag-roll natin. So, ay actual natin. Ito yung magiging laboratory natin. Next, ito yung mga assignment ninyo. Mga instrument, use and taking print. So, makikita natin ito sa ating CREAM lab. Possible po Wednesday tayo magkakaroon ng laboratory. So, we have the inks lab. Tandaan nyo po ito lalabas sa exam ko. Pag sinabi nating inks lab, ito para siyang glass slide. Kumbaga dito natin i-spread yung ating ink. Okay? Spread on purpose. Then, ink roller. So, magkakaroon tayo ng Rubbermaid roller designed to spread the ink. So, hindi naman natin sa kakamay, no? Pag mag-spread po tayo ng ink. Next, we have fingerprint ink. So, makikita nyo din ito sa ating laboratory. Next, we have the fingerprint card. Tatandaan yung 8x8 card for recording the fingerprint. Next, we have the card holder, latent print, transferring card, and at the same time, the finger strip holder. So, pag wala tayong card holder, meron po tayong strip holder lamang po, which is ito po yung tinutukoy natin. So, we have types of fingerprint impression. So, napahapyawan na din natin ito ng prelim. Pag sinabi nating rolled impression, ito yung sinasabi ko, napapaguluhin mo yung iyong daliri habang kinukuhanan mo ng fingerprint impression. So, ito yung pag sinabi nating parang malapad yung magiging outcome. This is the fingerprint impression taken individually by rolling each finger from one side to another side from the tip to the end of the first joint. So, as you can see, nakikita nyo dito, no, na medyo malapad po yung nagiging impression pag ganito po ang types of or method ng pagkuha natin ng fingerprint impression, yung rolled na sinasabi. Next, we have the plane. Pag sinabi nating plane, ito yung parang ano lang, itatap mo lang, then alis na agad. Ito yung common, which is ito yung ginawa natin. Plain impression or impression made by the simultaneous pressing the finger lang to the card used as a reference to classification. So, ito yung nakikita natin. Ito yung magiging example. Kumbaga, parang nilapat mo lang yung kamay mo doon sa ating fingerprint card. Next. So, ito yung nasend ko sa inyo sa YouTube. Kasi matagalan kasi ito. It takes time kung sana na-discuss sana. It takes time kasi, that is why nag-send na lang po ako ng video sa inyo. Don't you worry, hindi ko naman kayo papahirapan sa part na ito. I will be giving only in line with the examination. The question is base natin is definition only. Hindi po ako magpapa-actual nito. Maybe sa laboratory natin. Next, we have, proceed tayo dito sa the latent prints. It's very important that we are knowledgeable enough to differentiate ano yung mga latent prints natin. Are those, pag sinabi nating latent, we have number 1, visible prints. So, pag sinabing latent na meron pala dito definition, hidden or concealed, which is usually left accidentally po yan in the crime scene. These are prints naked to the human eye, but they actually exist. Naked to the human eye. So, it means, pag sinabing hidden, hindi po natin ito nakikita sa basta-basta lamang sa first glance natin. So, meron tayong gagawin ng mga certain method in order for us to identify na merong fingerprint dyan sa isang bagay. Number 1, we have the visible prints. Are impressions made by the fingers smeared with colored substance such as blood, ink, grease, dirt, or paint. Ito yung sinasabi na yung finger mo daw, okay, na nalapat sa mga example natin, pintura, ink, yung sa ballpen na ginagawa ninyo, nalapatan. So, pag once daw na madikit yan sa isang bagay, may maiiwan po na fingerprint pattern. Kahit nga lang paghahawak po kayo sa nag-awas ang inyong ballpen, tapos ihawak nyo sa papel. So, yung naiwan doon is an example of visible print kasi nakikita lang ng naked eye natin. Bakit? Paano siya nakita? Through the use of those blood ink kasi dumikit yung dirt or paint. So next we have the semi-visible prints. Pag sinabi natin semi, kumbaga kalahati, nakikita, sometimes nakadepende din kung ano man ang ano sa aton mata. So we have, ito yung sa mga molded or plastic impressions. They are prints made in plastic materials such as soap. Pag naliligo kayo, napipress nyo dyan yung kamay nyo, may naiiwan po dyan na fingerprint. So ang tawag po dyan is semi-visible print sa mga candle wax natin. So pag sinabing semi, kailangan na titigan mo ng mabuti para makita mo. Ang kabaligtaran niya kay visible prints, kahit na pag malayo ka, ma-identify mo, uy, may naiwan na fingerprint. Dito kasi kailangan pang matutukan. So, we have the wax, yan, mga adhesive gun, envelope, postage stamps. So, yan example. So, we have here ito. Yung sa clay, best example po nito is yung naiiwan sa clay natin pag nagalaro tayo before. Next, number 3, we have the invisible prints. Ito talaga yung hindi nakikita. True Latin prints are the most common type of chance impression. So, anong meron dito sa invisible prints? Ito yung hindi mo talaga nakikita. Cannot normally seen by your naked eye. Bakit? Nakikita lang siya or naiiwan through the use of the substances na meron tayo sa fingers such as our sweat and oil. So, paano yun? Yung, kung halimbawa, sa doorknob. Yung humawak ka sa doorknob, naiwan mo doon ang print mo, hindi po yun basta-basta makikita. So, hindi po siya papasok sa semi, hindi din siya papasok sa visible. So, meron siyang need na mga certain method in order for us na makita yung fingerprint. So, we have yung dusting method, yung lalagay tayo ng black powder. We have also yung gagamit tayo ng UV light. Yan, UV light para makita. So, later on, mamaya, sa next slides natin, makikita natin kung paano natin, malalaman pala natin kung paano siya makikita. So, ito yung magiging possible na ilalaboratory natin. Ipapadas method ko sa inyo, yung mga naiwang invisible prints, for example, sa baso, yan, then at the same time, sa isang bagay, and you are going to make a dusting method. So, we have other types, the smudge print. So, pag sinabi nating smudge class, from the word itself, smudge, ito yung parang blurred. Okay. Naku po. Napipindot na naman. Wait. Smudge, ito yung natatawag natin na mga blurred na mga finger. Bakit? Kumbaga nakatouch ka, then you slide based on the sliding motion of the finger. That is why it was being called smudge. So, it means, hindi po clear dito yung mga pattern na meron tayo. Next, we have number 2, fragmentary. Pag sinabi natin fragmentary prints that shows incomplete ridges. So, paano po ba nangyayari ang fragmentary? Ito yung small portion lang ng fingerprint is visible or just being recovered. So, kumbaga, hindi totally lahat ng ridges nandyan. Kumbaga, ito yung nangyayari na, halimbawa, yung isang tao, nahawakan niya yung baso, pero ang part ng fingerprint niya nakahawak doon is the tip. Kumbaga, yung dulo lang mismo ng fingerprint. Kaya yun lang ang nag-iwan. So, hindi totally complete. That is why it was being called fragmentary. There's a certain na fragment lang, konting fragment. Small section, kumbaga. Small sections or yung pattern lang ang naiwan. Incomplete po siya. Next, we have the chance impression. Ano bang meron sa chance impression? Based on the definition, prints that were left by chance at the crime scene. Kumbaga, ito yung hindi sinasadya. Naiwan lang dyan. Accidentally, leaves na iwan mo sa isang surface. hindi mo sinasadya, totally without intention, na mayroon palang naiwan. For example, nagnakaw ka, hindi ka nagsuot ng gloves, so naiwan sa doorknob yung fingerprint, sa table, sa ginamit mo na weapon, sa knife. So it means, those are the example, yung mga chance impression natin. Kumbaga, we did not intentionally na dapat iiwan natin doon, pero naiwan sa mga nahawakan natin na mga bagay. Next, ito na, yung methods of developing prints. Ito yung nasabi ko kanina na dusting method. Kasi ang available lang natin na materials doon is we have the dust brush and at the same time yung black powder natin. So, possible ma-apply natin si dusting method. So, considered as the simplest and traditional method used in developing print at the scene of the crime. Yan, dusting method. So, paano po ba yan nangyayari? So, lalagyan natin yung fingerprint ng powder sa surface using soft brush. So, ito yon. Then, we are going to stick the powder doon sa fingerprint residue. Next, possible po natin na gagawin is the investigator, for example, tayo, carefully lifts the developed print using lifting tape. So, gagamit tayo ng tape. I know, nakikita nyo na ito sometimes sa movie. Pag once na may visible print na tayo, ito, kukuha tayo ng clear na tape. Then at the same time, merong rules doon na dapat yung tape, wala ding naiwan na fingerprint. Kasi diba, pag kukuha kayo ng scotch tape, for example, kung hindi ka masinop or sa pagpunit nun, is may iwan din na sarili mong fingerprint. So, dapat clear po. And at the same time, walang bubbles. Para kung ano lang yung fingerprint na nakita mo dito, yun talaga ang ma-i-imprint mo doon sa tape na gagamitin mo. So, next, we have the rolling method. Basically, method used in developing print paper done. Ito yung ginagamit natin yung rolling method. Yung naano natin kanina, we have the ink slab, yung ganon. Fuming, ito yung by using chemical fumes such as iodine and ammonium fumes. So, hindi natin ito ma-actual kasi yung chemical natin sa laboratory is expired na po. So, parang gagamit lang tayo, papatakan natin ng certain chemical which is we have the iodine. Then, automatically, makikita po yung fingerprint impression na naiwan sa isang bagay. Next, silver nitrate method done by spraying a 5% solution of silver nitrate to the surface of the paper. So, through the use of this kind of silver nitrate, matatawag natin yan sila ng mga reagents. Bakit? Reagent kasi tumutulong sila. A chemical that can be helpful na makikita yung mga bagay na hindi natin nakikita sa ating mata. So, spray. Same sila ni fuming method. Pero magkaiba lang yung process on how they are going to apply those reagent na meron tayo. Dito, iodine. Dito naman po, we have the silver nitrate. Next, the ninhydrin method is considered as one of the best method used in developing prints on paper. So, the same. We have a reagent being used and at the same time, we have the laser method, modern method of tracing and developing prints. Ito yung pinaka-common natin ngayon. Kumbaga, we use different forms of lights. Kumbaga, papailawan na lang natin yung isang bagay, then makakita tayo ng mga possible prints doon. Kaya tinawag siya na laser method. So, dito we have rules on how are we going to develop Latin prints. So, ito yung sabi kanina, select the proper powder to confirm the proper of the surface. So, yung example natin di kanina, we have the black powder. Okay, small amount of the powder lang muna ang lalagay natin. So, kung kulang, dadagdagan lang natin. Huwag nating bibiglain, okay, powder agad. No, it's not. Paunti-unti lang po, small amount hanggang sa totally visible na yung fingerprint impression. Number 3, apply ample amount on the tip of the brush and avoid picking up too much. Yan. Yan pala ang sinasabi. Apply powder to the surface with gentle strokes. So, huwag po nating idiin yung brush na meron tayo. Baka masira natin yung impression ng fingerprint. Once the prints begin to appear, increase the stroke which conforms to the appearance of the latent print. So, we are going to increase. Pag sinabi natin increase, lalawakan natin yung stroke na meron tayo sa ating brush para makakover kung saan pa talaga diingid asta ang may impression sa fingerprint. If the print is faint, try adding additional powder. So, sinabi natin faint, ito pa yung hindi pa totally visible, so dadagdag tayo ng powder. So, paano natin siya ililift? Once the Latin prints are developed and photographed, the lifting tape should be firmly placed in the Latin print. So, ipapatong natin yung tape. The print is lifted by carefully rolling the tape evenly. So, equal based on the surface. Immediately transfer to the Latin print or the transfer card. So, lilipat natin yung tape dun sa card na meron tayo. Next, yan, yung nasabi ko kanina, avoid leaving your fingerprint on the lifting tape. Baka ma-confuse, dalawang fingerprint ang nandun. Also, prevent the entry of air bubbles under the lifting tape. So, iwasan natin magka-bubbles. Put your initial date and other details in the evidence envelope. So, this topic will be on the final. So, I hope, dyan lang naman, konti lang yung coverage natin sa ating konti. Pero, sana, mag-actual kasi dapat kayo. Ay instructed na mag-laboratory kaso dahil busy din yung mga nag-sub po, hindi po nagawa. Kaya hahabulin natin sa time ng ating final. Magkakaroon kasi tayo ng laboratory. So I hope you understand the topic that we have. Memorize the instrument used, then the rules. Ito, yung types. Then at the same time, yung percentage na meron tayo, the fingerprint patterns, pila ka percent ang ulnar loop, ka-gradial, whirl, arch, ayan, tandaan natin. And I hope na sana mag-study kayo. Magkakaroon po tayo ng quiz on Monday kasi hindi pa tayo nagka-quiz. So, long quiz po tayo. Then, at the same time, yung long quiz na yan, it will serve as your review para na din sa ating examination on Tuesday. So, I hope wala pong mag-absent on Monday. That's all for today. Thank you. God bless everyone. Ingat po kayo always.